Raghav Agarwal, the journey is the destination. The journey is the destination with Master Raghav Agarwal.
Can we have the applause going for our very wonderful Toastmasters of the day? 731. What is the relevance of this number, you ask? Well, this was the number that was displayed in the meeting calendar when I took my first step in the Harrod corridors of Calcutta Chambers of Commerce. Greetings for the Toastmasters and dear guests. I remember sitting right at the seat where the will be sitting at. My anticipation soaring up the roof. Suddenly I realized that the guests had to give a two-line introduction of themselves, and I was scared. Suddenly, Rohan Bhaiya, who was the presiding officer at that time, turned towards me and in his own unique style asked, "And what about you, champ?" I stood up, recollecting my words. Me, my name is Raghav Agarwal, and I settled back down quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, I could not even introduce myself as a guest properly. With the raise of hands, how many of you believe this incident to be false? Considering your personal interactions with me, can I have a raise of hands, please? Well, let me take you guys a trip down the memory lane. 1 year ago, I was not as confident individual as I am today right now, speaking in front of you. I was preparing meticulously for my CA intermediate examinations. And the beauty of these examinations were that fortunately or unfortunately, these preparations were online. I was confined within the four walls of my home. The only people I interacted with were my mom, my dad, my sister, and my servant. My sister and the servant being different individuals. but only these four interactions made me a very underconfident individual. I was not prepared to speak in front of people. A prospect of interacting with so many people would give me goosebumps or make me frightened to cuts. I slowly began to realize that I was being pushed towards depression. I was underconfident. I used to be very anxious and used to be very frightened. I did not know what to do. I took out my phone and searched for an open forum where I could interact with people. And then I struck a gold. Kolkata Toastmasters Club. I came here and attended 3 meetings as a guest. After attending those 3 meetings, I realized that this is the platform which will have a profound impact in my life. With this strong conviction, I joined this club. But the initial few months were not as easy as it sounds. I was not prepared to take up ancillary roles. Our VP Education that time used to be very frustrated with me because I used to give a no for every role that he offered to me. But with time, I took the realization that I needed to take the roles. I took the primary, the outcome, the time, and believe it or not, for every role that I took, I used to take a day off. I used to prepare meticulously for that role in front of a mirror so that I do not stumble in front of the general evaluator when giving my introduction. Slowly and gradually, I gained my confidence. I began to be profound in my approach. I began winning certificates for the auxiliary role plays that I was taking. With time, I was giving more serious roles. I was given the tabletop master, the Toastmaster of the day, and many more roles. And ladies and gentlemen, I used to make sure that I was giving my 110% for every role that I was taking. With time, I passed my intermediate examinations with a breeze and secured my articleship in a very reputed firm. At that point of time, I realized that this was a time that I started to deliver some speeches. With pure determination, and meticulous approach, I prepared my icebreaker speech and delivered that speech on this very podium. Believe it or not, friends, when I delivered the speech here and went back to my seat at the very fag end where I sit every time, those 20 steps changed my life. From being an underconfident, emotionally fragile, and a hesitant individual to being a resolute, a confident, and a go-to guy. I knew that now was the time that I had to shine. After that speech, I went to a spree of speeches, going to every Toastmaster club possible. I had earned a badge that this guy, okay, Raghav Agarwal, he has to have a speech today whenever I used to come to any of the clubs. At one point of time, there was no Toastmaster club left in Kolkata where I had not gone and delivered a speech. With time, I gained my confidence. I particularly remember a highlight of this journey. Mohammed Hamza and I had gone to Finnorators Toastmasters Club and delivered speeches there. That evening, Toastmaster Rajashri Roy, who is a very senior Toastmaster, made a phone call to distinguished Toastmaster Rohan, who was the president at that point of time. He sang so many praises for us that Rohan Bhaiya called me and told what Rajashri Roy had told him. He told, and I quote, "Tu jone miliye, Finnorators e agun lagi rahi," which translates to, those two guys set the stage on fire at Finnorators Toastmasters Club. Hearing that endorsement, I was reassured that I was indeed the right man. With time, I was also given the responsibility of being the secretary of Kolkata Toastmasters. Well, this was the first time that I was being given a responsibility of leadership. Believe it guys, I have never been a class monitor and now I was secretary of one of the biggest Toastmasters club in India. But I truly believe in the quote, responsibility is not given, it's taken. I did not confine myself to the responsibilities of only the secretary of the club, but I did just more than that. I used to come at the very beginning of the meeting and made sure that I was helping the sergeant at arms arrange all the stuff in the meeting room. I used to make sure that I was staying back as late as possible so that I can help my vice president membership to interact with each and every guest possible. And I was very active in all the different clubs as well. I remember a particular incident where two different clubs were having a meeting, a joint venture meeting, and they called me up that Raghav, we are not being able to manage role players. Can you please help us to do so? Because I had contacts in so many clubs. And ladies and gentlemen, I helped them to have a smooth meeting and I was not even there at that meeting. Such was my network at the Toastmasters fraternity in Calcutta at that point of time. Being the secretary, I was having so many challenges and problems, and also I was emerging victorious for every challenge that was thrown at me. This responsibility and this role made me realize that I can do leadership, and gave me the motivation that I can be the vice president membership of the club that I am today. This journey gave me many achievements and many accolades. I have lost the count of the certificates that I have won here. At one point of time, my dad told me that, didn't you go to KTM yesterday? I said yes. So where is the certificate? So I told that I can't win a certificate every meeting that I go. So he told, I thought that they are giving certificates for every meeting that you are going. I don't know, it is not the process, we have a voting link for that. But these small incidents gave me a lot of motivation, a lot of responsibility and a lot of self-belief that I can be. But this journey has not only been about public speaking or leadership skills. Oh no. It has been a lot more than that. I have had the privilege of being mentored by one of the finest guys that we have in our Toastmasters fraternity. I'm very sorry that he is not sitting with us here today. Distinguished Toastmaster Rohan. What a guy he is. He's truly an inspiration for everyone. I was awe-stricken when I first saw him, and I was damn sure that I have to be mentored by him. He sees something that I do not see within myself, and I'm truly grateful for him. Thank you so much, Bhaiya, for always being there for me. Secondly, I was very, very fortunate to work under Toastmaster Abhishek Mohatabi. He has always mentored me. Though he is not my mentor, but he has always mentored me for every challenge that I was facing. My phone calls with him have stretched to 2 hours, 15 minutes at once. And he is always there for me, for my career insecurities, for my problems, and he has always made me face those problems with responsibility. Thank you so much for always being there. Next, I have Toastmaster Hamza, who has been that steadfast friend who can always lend an ear, whether it's a meeting about Toastmasters or a hard breakup that I'm going through. He has always been there for me. Thank you so much for being there. Next, I have the trio: Toastmaster Meghna, Toastmaster Raghav, and Toastmaster Kritika. These are like those childhood friends that I have missed all my life. I can be as candid with them as possible, and yet I know that they can have or they can shoot a bullet. Thank you so much for me. Next, I have Toastmaster Harsh, Toastmaster Sayan, Toastmaster Tadru, Toastmaster Rahul, Toastmaster Shivam, and many more that I can't but thank for being at this story. I have many new faces: Toastmaster Purvi, Toastmaster, I don't know, I have lost the count. So many people I have interacted, so many people I have made friends that I have lost the count. But standing here today, I realize that it's not over. Though I am doing great, but I have much more to learn, and I am already doing that. It's not a sunset, but it is sunrise. With that, I would like to end with the Robert Frost excerpt. The woods were lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Over to Toastmasters.